So we are back after Easter, and we're back to our series on Exodus. This is the 25th message, and we are now in Exodus chapter 32, and we're going to be taking a 6-week hiatus from an expositional series on Exodus to think about and unpack Exodus chapter 32, which is the golden calf. So we're past getting the Jews out of Egypt. We're now very much in getting Egypt out of the Jews. Moses is on the mountain for 40 days. The people get tired of waiting, and so they demand that Aaron make them a god. And Aaron ends up complying, and they melt down all the gold, and they turn it into this golden calf. And the people engage in a lot of worship and revelry. God alerts Moses what's going on. Moses runs down, breaks the Ten Commandments, destroys the idol, makes them basically drink the water that he puts all the gold into, and then goes back up to meet with God and to intercede on behalf of the people. And so the question that I'm asking, the question that's animating this series is, what are the idols of our age? Acts chapter 17 has got a passage in which it's got a report on Paul meeting on Mars Hill at Athens, seeing all the idols of the Athenians and calling them out on it. And the question is, if Paul were to show up at Union Station today in downtown Chicago, what idols would he recognize are part of the 21st century? Part of 21st century Chicago. And so I then just backed up and I said, look, we've got to understand that the idols that are there are probably not things that we are going to call idols, right? We're not talking about golden calves. We're not talking about jade statues. I don't know of anybody who's bowing down and worshiping pictures of their ancestors. So I just laid out 4 points that set up what's going to follow. I said, look, we were created to worship God, but because we're going to worship something. We were created to worship God. We're not worshiping God, we're worshiping lesser things. That this worshiping lesser things damages us. And part of the problem that we face is that the idols are invisible to us. We don't see them for what they are. So this series is going to cause us to have to take a real unblinking look at our own heart and our own life. And I expect you will be mad at me at some point when we start to name these idols. I hope you have a good study.